Hi, Sarah Sumter here along with Mr. Kevin Kennedy, and we're back on Conversations with Kevin. What can you tell me about case law?
Case law. Well, that's like Jones versus Jones, Sumter versus Kennedy. Don't even think about it, Sarah. Don't you? I saw it light you up. Well, all these other cases, people have had cases. You won't be the first one that's been involved in a car wreck. So if there comes down one of these issues that is a gray area, lawyers love to dance in the gray area. The law is black and white. So cases interpret the law. And lawyers try to find a case to make an argument, this is why you should rule this way. And so that's what's known as case law. And if we can't find one in Tennessee jurisdiction, we'll try to find one in Kentucky or someone who's similar, and we can argue that. Did I say it would work? I didn't say everything we do works. I'll never say that. But will we try? And a lot of times it will work. And so some of the things we always talk about down here is trying to have that creative idea. Let it go. And it usually comes up with some good ideas.
Yes. So what is the difference between that and statutory law?
Statutory law. TCA. Tennessee Code Annotated, Tennessee statutes that are written by the legislature. And they say you cannot drink and drive. That is called DUI, DWI, driving while intoxicated, all that. Well, there's a state statutory law that if you do that, it's a violation per se. And if you admit to that, have they got you?
They got you.
If you admit to it, Sarah, please tell me. Have they got you?
They got you.
And so when you get out, all the police now, they have these activated little voice things. So when you have contact with them, they are recording you. Are you recording them?
No.
No, but they are recording you because they're more sophisticated. They have the technology. And when they get you, they have an intention to prosecute and make sure that they're going to be found in the right. So that's some of the difference between case law and we have a U.S. Code, United States Code Annotated. There's all kinds of violations, like we have to file our income tax. There's a code. There's a statutory code. And then when a lawyer's trying to dance, he said, well, what about that case of Sumter versus Sumter? They didn't have to file because he filed an extension. Remember, with every law, there's an exception to it. We talk about hearsay. With every hearsay, there's a bunch of exceptions, and then there's exceptions to the exception. Remember, that was my strong point at the law school. I knew, man, I was on that. I don't know, it was a natural for me to pick up on that. And they said, we got it. They say it's hearsay. I say, Judge, there's an exclusion to this hearsay.
Yes.
Wow. And guess what? The judges, they will learn when people really know the rules and they can stand. And you know what else? What I tell all the young lawyers, Sarah? Sarah works with a lot of young lawyers. Be people of your word.
Yes.
And don't come into court late. It's a poor reflection on the lawyer, poor reflection on the law firm.
Yes.
When the judge tells them 3 days, get it done. So we all come from the same philosophy. We want to be responsible. The best way to ruin your reputation is be irresponsible.
Yes.
Don't do what you say you're going to do. Don't make excuses because pretty soon then everybody knows that's Mr. Excuse Side. How long would you be in that chair if you were full of excuses, Sarah?
Forever.
Tell the truth. I'd just leave her over there. Benjamin Franklin said, we stand on deductive reasoning. I have a master's degree in history. I was teaching at Austin Peay when I was 22 years old. Impressive.
Wow, it's very impressive.
And I loved history, and I loved to study all of these men, their ideas. And so Benjamin Franklin, one of my great historical heroes, he was brilliant. He said, deductive reasoning. So we're going to put on this all the good things, the strengths of Sarah's case. Then I'm going to go back over here and say all the weaknesses. And we're trying to be creative. And if I have more strengths than I have weaknesses, we're in the driver's seat. I'm going to hit them with my strengths. I'll stay away from my weaknesses. And so every case, when they come in here, we talk about it. We take the who, what, when, where, and how. If you want to know the questions to ask for preparation, ask those. Who, what, when, where, and how. Basic questions. And so once we get all the background information, then we'll plug it in, and then Kevin Kennedy will develop a legal strategy.
Yes.
If there's holes in the other side, I'm punching holes in theirs. I'm trying to protect us. I'm shoring us. I said, have you got some witnesses? Do you have some credible people that will stand with you? Has anyone witnessed this? Because that's how I build a case. We just don't take your case. We develop the case.
Yes.
And our experience helps us to do that. And if I'm defending you, then I've got to punch holes in their case. And everybody knows pretty quick who's the strong preparation and who doesn't put all the extra work in. You put the work in, it will show. It will help you. And in those clinch moments when we're going backwards and forwards under cross-examination, in the heat of the battle, all that preparation will always pay off.
Of course.
It will always pay off. You know, when my sons were going to go to high school, they wanted to run for president. Kevin Jr. and Kenny both ran for president at Rossview High School. And I remember my brother Bruce, he's a lawyer with me, and he always said, Kevin, close them big. Well, I was the one that did all the trials. I was the one that did the closing arguments. You know, what are you doing preaching to me, my younger brother? But he was right. And boy, I took that closing argument and I would bring it home. And that was where I was really effective. And you know when the jury's buying what you're selling. You know it, the district attorney's off. Everybody in the courtroom does. When you're right, you're right. And there's a certain amount of confidence that comes with you. So I told Casey and Kenny, I said, y'all give it to them and then close them, boys. Close them big. And so Kenny and Casey both ran, and I helped them with their speeches, try to help you teach, help the young lawyers. We got a bunch of young lawyers right now. And I want them to learn to prepare, and then let's close them. And little did we ever know that Kenny and Casey were going to try to run for president of Austin Peay. You know, they were the only two brothers that were president of Rossview High and the only two brothers that were ever president at Austin Peay.
Wow.
And what was I teaching them 4 years later? Boys, close them big. Case, and you know, it was beautiful because KC inspired Kenny. You know, that's how we have the lawyers here. And if Sarah and I had a case and Sarah really said, Kevin, you got to win this one. I said, well, Sarah, you know, I'll do the best I can. And with her words, you know, she can bring me up or she can bring me down. And we call it the elevator technique at the law firm because I can come in and just work. Can you believe you did that, Sarah? You left this, you left my calendar here, there, yeah. And then I just see her go down, or I say, Sarah, we're going to get past it. We don't even have to have that. You just take these notes. When we get through this, you write down what the judge says in that order, and I write it down. You know why the two of us? Because we're stronger than without us.
Yes.
And if I forgot something or in a split second the client was talking to, Sarah got it. And a lot of times I always spend the extra money to get a court reporter because if anybody disputes it, because lawyers are going to dispute it, then I'd say, we'll pay the court reporter. And of course it costs money to do that. But if it matters, we're in it to win it.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, Sarah, go get them. Teach me something. Fire them up. One of these days, we're going to get Sarah to be a lawyer. And you go and you could really turn Sarah loose with one of the young lawyers and take over. She knows, she's seen more depositions, more mediations, all that
That's
than
right.
the youngest lawyers here. Okay, well, Sarah, it has really been good. I enjoyed answering these questions, and I love to share. And so let's take a little break.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Kevin Kennedy, along with my brother Bruce Kennedy. We're at the Kennedy Law Firm. One of my favorite people, Benjamin Franklin, once said, an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. How does that apply to personal injury cases?
Well, you know, Kevin, when people have been injured in an automobile accident, they have no experience in how to resolve it. It's important that they come to people with experience who can help them rather than working with organizations who have more experience that would take advantage.
Call the Kennedy Law Firm, 931-645-9900.
Hi, Sarah Sumter here, and we're back with Mr. Kevin Kennedy.
Yes.
Got a few more questions I want to ask.
You always have some questions. The inquisitive mind. Didn't we say that curiosity kills the cat?
That's what we say.
So, but you still have more questions.
I have a few more questions.
Then fire away and learn. I don't know why you don't have your notepad. Haven't I told? Take your notes. Take your notes. Sarah takes more notes than anybody. Isn't it true?
It is true.
And how about our list? Do we make a list
every day?
Every day. And you say, how do you do that? Because we take something off the list every day, and we have to add something to it. Okay, hit it, Sarah.
All right, so what is the benefit of having a witness?
Benefit is, that's my greatest evidence. You give me an eyewitness. They used to have a joke. The guy would get involved in a car wreck, and he'd say, well, hey, do you need me? Do you got a witness? Or you need me to bring one? That was an old joke. Ha, ha, ha. I thought you caught that. And then this one guy got in a lawsuit. He said, well, this is going to cost X amount of dollars. He said, no, I think I'm going to get me a $2 lawyer and a $50 witness.
Oh,
my goodness. It kind of reminded me experts. And you wish you could get an expert for $50 because if you have to get one of these experts, like when we have a death case through a fire, and you have to prove that there was negligence or they didn't have fire alarms or whatever was going on, you know, those guys want $10,000 to go out and investigate and write their reports. Did you hear me?
I heard you.
And then, you know, if it's a young person, you have to get an economist. And what an economist does, Sarah's 20, they would come back and say, well, Sarah's education is here, her health is here, she was in this line of work, so we're going to project that Sarah her life was worth $2 million. And then, of course, another economist can say, no, I think Sarah was worth $5 million. And then some people, you mama might even go, Sarah ain't worth that. I'd say, please, that's kind of funny. How much are you really worth? So here we go, Sarah. The question again, what is the question?
So what about credibility?
Credibility. Everybody has to have a certain amount of credibility. If a lawyer loses his credibility, he has nothing. If a lawyer loses his reputation, he has nothing. That's our stock in trade. So you want to be people of your word. You're good at that. You are great at that. I'll give you a 12 on a 1 to 10. You are a person of your word. There's a lot of times we have to go out of town. And so over the years, we've had people, I'd say, we got to be at the office at 15 to 7. It's do or die. And then here we go, 15 after 7, they're coming. We're already gone. We can't wait. The bus is going to leave. But you're really good. So credibility gets down when a lawyer tries to make an argument. This person is really hurt and they're really not. I'll teach you another little trick. You full of tricks? There's millions of tricks. That's why you really like to get an experienced lawyer. Because what the insurance companies have been doing, if this is a significant case, they'll go hire private eyes. And they'll go out and they will tape you. And you say, well, I can't do this because of the car wreck. And I can't. And then they'll tape you taking your groceries in. Well, you could bend over pretty good and carry that. And then they'll tape you cleaning your gutters out. Sarah, get the leaves over here. Sarah, then she comes into the court and we're doing the deposition. She says, I can't move. We're walking with a walker. You know how all that goes.
And we saw that one time over at the courthouse. There was a man come in with a crutch.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he lost his case, he ran out of the courtroom, left his crutch sitting there.
I tell you, we're liable to see anything in the court, and you'll hear anything. So be extra sensitive. Why am I saying it? On credibility, just tell the truth. You'll come out much better. Always just tell the truth. And people say, well, I don't want to tell about this. I know you don't want to, but you don't want to be charged with perjury.
Yes.
And you want to use some good judgment, and a really skilled lawyer will identify this is a hot potato right here, and we'll maneuver around the hot potato. We're not going to do anything that's wrong, but we'll just try to hurry it up and get that case over with. It'll make you happy, make us happy, everybody's happy. That's part of what we're confronted with. And credibility, if somebody ever tells the court a lie, how long will they remember that?
Forever.
Say it one more time.
Forever.
So you lie to a court, they will remember it forever. So I'm extra gun shy about any kind of misrepresentation. I always want to, and I'm Mr. Caution, you know, that's Kevin C. Kennedy. I said, what does that C stand for? I used to say it stood for courage. And then I said it stood for commitment. And then the truth is, I really am cautious. I'm pretty fast. Once I know this is what we need to do. If somebody said, what was one of your secrets? It's probably being fast. Because my mind works fast. If I knew this is the right thing to do, we're going now. And if we had somebody come in here with a mental problem and I knew they were coming in and I said, Sarah, hit that back door now, what would you do?
I'd hit it now.
And you know, Sarah and I, we were even talking about this on our relationship. If Sarah came and said, Kevin, hit that back door right now, what would I do?
You better hit the back door.
And so we do trust each other to that degree to look after each other. And we might have a client bow up on, I'm not running for anybody, Sarah's gone. And said, dude, we told you, man, this is too dangerous. And of course, you know, the legal profession can be a dangerous profession.
Absolutely.
No doubt. This is real world, real estate. Credibility is a big thing. Protect it. Everybody has a reputation. You write your story every day, so write a good one. Write one that's honest and truthful. The only thing that an honest man can do is make an honest mistake. So we want to do business with honest people.
Yes.
And if people are full of misrepresentations, hey, guess what? the skilled insurance lawyers, they love bring you in there, just lie, and we expose those lies in a court case. One of the things they say about cross-examination, Sarah, that's why we have it. No man can tell the same lie the same way twice.
Wow.
He'll either add a little something, or he'll hesitate, or he'll just take a little something away. That's why when these professional investigators, they just keep going over it and over till they pick up on one slight deviation, then they're on you. That's why the lawyer says, say nothing. And, when we're in there and some, I used this illustration once where, you have to be found beyond a reasonable doubt. So what does a lawyer do? He just points out reasonable doubt. If a person, you and I walked in and there's a person dead right there. Well, we're going to call the police. Well, what could have happened? There's 100 different explanations. We could have walked up and found them. Or we could have been involved and they dropped the gun by accident and killed them. Or we could have gotten a tussle with them, or they were really trying to kill them. There's a host of things. But when you get involved with that, which side are we on? If we have to poke holes, then we're going to poke some holes.
Yeah.
And you help us by not telling everything, because when they say 90% of the people that are in the penitentiary are there because they talked.
Oh my goodness.
So, and that goes true for lawsuits too. If you get out and say, hey, it's my fault, then you want us to try to say it's not your fault. So many people want to turn, and lawyers cannot let you get up there and say all that. We have rules and regulation that we have to go by. So you have a right against self-incrimination, you have a right to the Fifth Amendment, and I'll stand on my constitutional rights. And so there's a lot of legal ways to protect yourself.
Wow.
I'm Kevin Kennedy with the Kennedy Law Firm. It's said that two are better than one, and threefold cord is not easily broken. I spent my life trying to build a team because a team really carries the success. It makes a lot of sense. Some of the wisest and smartest people I've ever known in the legal profession put the team together and worked it. I'm Kevin Kennedy. If you need our help, call us, the Kennedy Law Firm.
So I did want to ask you, what has it been like in your perspective here at the Kennedy Law Firm all these years? It's pretty interesting, Sarah. Now we've had way over 100 lawyers that have worked through here, and I love to work with young lawyers. I love to try to shape them, and so all these ideas, I'm really a natural teacher. I've taught Sunday school for 25 years at the First Baptist Church, and I take a lot of pride. We've had more interns at the Kennedy Law Firm than anywhere, probably close to 800 different interns here, and some of them went on to become judges and lawyers, and some became doctors, and even the business people and politicians. I love that. So could I have done anything that I was better suited for? I don't really think so. My gifts, my mother always said, Kevin, you had the gift of gab. And they used to ask my mom, said, well, what was Kevin's secret? She said, he had pure drive and determination. I've tried to look, and you and I are big. Sarah and I keep up with these records, and you and I broke some records this year. We did.
Is that a shocker to you?
It is.
It still is to me.
It is.
And we bring the young lawyers in. I said, well, guys, sit down, take some notes. And we're still breaking records.
We are.
And so, and you've been you've been a blessing to have around. Sarah, you give all of us some inspiration. We try to do training here at the office, and you're always interested, always a team player, trying to encourage the other members. Let's get involved, and not only in the law business, but in everything from the Christmas parade to trying to help people. And so you are a natural for a leader. I like to think, one of the judges came to me and said, Mr. Kennedy, I just want to say, I want to compliment you and thank you for all the work that you did for a charity event. And I said, well, really, Judge, the truth is the law firm did it. I may have been instrumental in creating an environment of positivity that they could flourish, but they did it.
Wow.
And so you're a great team player. But all in all, love what you do, and it's what gives us the strength to get up and keep going. And we'll have some more records to break. I'm big on keeping up the records so we can break them both in the profession and out of the profession.
That's great.
And it is good.
Yeah, so, here at the law firm, everybody here always has the most confidence in Mr. Kennedy. We have clients come in and they always want Kevin. He really is the greatest here. Everybody here admires him. We have people come from all over and they recognize him. We'll go out and be like, hey, I know you. Who are you? And people just recognize Kevin. He just has this glow about him and people just naturally attract to him. And
well, Sarah, I hope, when I was doing all those jury trials, I used to always say, I hope I never did anything that would bring dishonor to the Lord's work. And I felt the anointing. I felt many times when I was in the courtroom. I was set on fire, even when I went to the Court of Appeals and I was in the big federal courts. He was always with me.
Yes.
And you and I, we won't take on a big challenge. A mighty Christian lady, even when we go to the different business, I'd say, Sarah, will you say a prayer? And Sarah, you never hesitated for the business people that we represent. So that's inspiring, not only to us, the people that work with you, but those who we represent and go far. Sarah, you brought up a good thing. I wanted to try to share. This is some of the philosophy of the Kennedy Law Firm. We do our monthly meetings. We do and bring in guest speakers to pump and teach. So it's not just like we're here and we're cranking out work. We're trying to develop people. And a good team that's developed is a hard bunch to beat. It's kind of like an investment in excellence. So we're always striving for excellence. We provide a professional, proactive work environment. That's what we try to do. We provide a highly qualified, trained support staff. We use the most advanced technology and equipment here. We provide an atmosphere of inspiration and motivation to get the job done. And so when you come in here, everybody wants to get the job, but it takes motivation and inspiration. We try to provide a clean, safe, secure, comfortable, visually pleasing facilities. We have 3 locations and we're all the time pushing clean,
Yes.
orderly, get rid of the clutter. When you've got all these cases, it piles up.
It does.
We try to provide effective, convenient, and timely legal services. So when you come in, we try to do our best to try to get things done in a timely fashion. We listen promptly and resolve clients' concerns. And we always tell everybody, if you don't know the answer, that's okay, but ask somebody. When you've got a team, you put all these minds together, we're going to come up with some answers. And, the first thing, you've got to identify the issues. Once we identify it, then we have an opportunity to try to solve it.
Yes.
We are big on brainstorming here. And, of course, I probably have the most experience of all the lawyers. But even when Sarah and I, you may have the least experience involved with all the things. But I love to talk to you because even when I talk, you'll say, well, what about this? And then it develops my mind to think. I said, well, how about this, Sarah? You say, well, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Or you say, Kevin, I don't know about that. We pledge to work hard and do our best for our law. So they say, well, people say, well, I got to win. I want to win. No one can guarantee you that you're going to win. They can't do it. And if anybody said that, I'd look, because you don't know what the jury's going to do. You don't know what the judge is going to do. There's always a curveball, and we're always throwing a few curveballs when they think, hey, we got it. Well, it's not necessarily. It kind of reminds me of a fight, who hit the other one first. Or when we get up, it looks like everything. We feel confident. And then, that may be one of the masters because we always never tell everything we know, do we, Sarah?
No.
And I think you've learned that from me. And so we hear, and these people get in a false sense of confidence, and they say, we're going to do this, and we're, okay. And then there's something that they didn't realize. And so, again, that's years of experience, the trial strategy, the trial tactics, and that's all us talking with that creative, proactive approach to a problem.
Absolutely.
Hello, Bruce Kennedy here with the Kennedy Law Firm and my brother Kevin. Kevin, we were just talking about automobile accidents. What comes to your mind?
That saying, strong people stand up for themselves, but stronger stand up for others. That's really who the Kennedy Law Firm is. It's a strong organization that stands up for their clients. And believe me, in these personal injury cases, you need help. You need some real help in a time of need. Call the Kennedy Law Firm, 931-645-9900. Hi, I'm Kevin Kennedy along with Sarah Sumter, and we're glad to be with you on Conversations with Kevin. One of the things I liked was going to talk about a little bit was servant leadership. I hope that I can train you to be that servant leader. You know, they all say that you have to be a great follower, then you can become a great leader. You believe it?
I do, absolutely.
All right, so in servant leadership, who is the greatest among you? Jesus is the one that said it, the servant of all. So you're outworking everybody. You're getting here early. You're providing. And whatever it takes, you know, we have those office lunches. Somebody's got to bring in the food. Sarah, somebody's got to clean up after everybody else. Sarah said, how do I always end up with all this kind of work? I said, Sarah, you're everybody's hero. Yeah. Is it servant leadership at its finest?
Absolutely.
So talk to me a little bit about character. What does it mean when you think about the Kennedy Law Firm and the word character?
I think character is a big thing here at the Kennedy Law Firm. Everybody knows Mr. Kennedy is quite the character.
Oh, watch out. That was a good line. That was a good line.
You know, Mr. Kennedy he's such a leader here. Everybody here looks up to him. There's so many things the young lawyers will come up, Mr. Kennedy, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do this. And Mr. Kennedy always has an answer for them. And he just does things. And
well, you know, Shannon is our office administrator.
Yes.
There is a line out in front of her. Yes. Is it true, Sarah?
It is true. And if they can't get to Shannon, they're coming banging on Kevin's door.
Yeah, so we keep the line, okay, you're up, you're up, and we try to hit them as fast as we can and be as effective as we can and not waste our time and not keep people backed up forever.
Yes.
Isn't it true?
Absolutely.
And so, you know, we're ever mindful. That slogan, we're committed to helping people, it's really a way of life. We are committed to helping people, whatever the need may be. You know, Sarah, it was kind of reminding me of that Nashville lawyer. We were over there, and this Nashville lawyer was wearing this guy out on the stand, and he hollered at him in the court. He said, "Isn't it true you shot that man in self-defense?" The witness said, "No, I shot the man hopping over the fence."
Oh, my goodness.
Sarah's full of jokes, so when things go bad around here, she's on the internet looking up some. But, you know, laughter, the Bible says, is good for the soul.
Absolutely.
So we can laugh at ourselves and we can keep on trucking. And I guess a healthy self-image is that you can laugh about yourself and things you do and you don't do. Talk to me a minute about attitude.
All right, attitude. I hear that word quite often around here.
Get your attitude. Check her attitude.
How's your attitude? How's your enthusiasm? How's your energy? Questions I hear every day.
They're great questions. I love
They are great questions, and it really makes you put things in perspective. Well, how is my attitude? Well, it needs improvement. Let's get in a better attitude. Let's get in a better mindset. Let's do this. We got work to do.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Kennedy always says that a commitment to excellence will help your attitude. You know, it will put you in a better frame of mind. You know, he got in my car one day and he said, you should really consider cleaning your car. Yeah. He said, you know, if you get in your car and it's clean, it'll put you in a better mood. And so, you know, he's right. It's a commitment to excellence. It's what you got to do.
Touche. Henry Ford, the great industrialist. Henry Ford, when he was interviewing some of the young executives, if they sat at his table and they would pick a salt shaker up and put salt on their food before they even tasted it, he wouldn't hire them. He said they were wasteful.
Oh,
There's many CEOs that they would want to go look at your car because if your car was messy, they don't want to turn over a multi-million-dollar corporation to someone who had that. Mm-hmm. And a commitment to excellence is how you look, how you present yourself. It's a way of life, really. And we're always striving. You can't get there. It's hard to get there, but we're always striving. And if I had one lesson that I wish I'd learned earlier, I was always good, but I wanted to be excellent. And so some of the most successful people I ever knew, that's why I take the time to teach you, take the time to teach the young lawyers, is have a commitment to excellence in everything we do.
This show is so much fun always, and I want to thank you so much for having me, and I want to thank you guys at home so much for watching and tuning in with us.
Yeah, it's always a blessing. You can come up to Sarah and I if you see us and speak to us. We're glad to see you, so whenever we're out, we love to have people come up and speak to us. It's great. So the lesson for as we close today, you can't outgive God. You can't learn enough. So keep your ears open, your eyes open, and so that you might take something and share it to help someone else. Remember, I'm Kevin Kennedy along with Sarah Sumpter, the Kennedy Law Firm. We're committed to helping people.